And how goes it, everyone? We are past the first round of the 2018 NFL Draft, and I am here to go over the Vikings pick at 30th overall. And unlike the offensive lineman that I think most, if not all, expected, we got the other option, which was a corner, specifically one that can most likely play the nickel, and that's Mike Hughes. Now, he can play both inside and outside. He played mainly outside at UCF. And to me, he's a well balanced corner with some press coverage abilities. Zimmer did say in his own little press conference that it's a different technique than he would like him to use, but that will be taught to him. And he has nice instincts in coverage, and I think he's a very aggressive corner. And to me, he he does have a little bit stiffer of hips, but they're not so stiff to where it's horrible. They're kind of average-ish, but he has a great first step on that. So he's quick, although the hips could be a little better. And I think he could work as like a nickel safety hybrid in some sub packages, even though he's not the greatest tackler. And he did run a 4.53, but I think that kind of lies a little bit. Because if you just watch him, he plays much faster than 4.53. I thought he'd be a 4.4 guy. He turns out to be a 4.53, which isn't too far off, but still, I thought he'd be in the 4.4s, 4.5. And I just think it's more of a game speed than it is a time speed. And he really does double as a returner, where Minnesota did struggle a bit. Last year, who is likely or was likely to be our top return guy, Sherrills had 11 kick returns last year. He had 271 yards on a 24.6 average with 0 touchdown. Mike Hughes, however, he had 20 kick returns for 635 yards for a 31.8 average, and he scored twice. That's significantly better. So I feel like a big part of him being drafted was that we kind of struggled in explosive plays in that regard. So does doubles return guy, we struggled there, so that kind of checks off. And he is able to turn into a returner with the ball in his hands on defense, which is really nice. And this is more of a personal issue with him, I think, something that they definitely had to look into was he did have sexual assault charges, which it seemed to be more of a rumor thing. It wasn't. He was very transparent, reportedly, and obviously, if Minnesota felt this was an issue moving forward, they probably wouldn't have taken him. But due to these allegations, he went from North Carolina to Garden City Community College. And obviously, last year he got to UCF and he showed enough potential to be warranting a first round draft pick. But you also have to be concerned that this is a possible character guy. And I would just like to say, I don't think this pick is here to replace Trey Waynes, but more likely to either replace Alexander or to utilize more cover guys, pretty much more corners maybe, and take out Sendejo at times because Sendejo can at times be a liability in coverage. So it might be more of that thing than Wayne's being like, oh, he's not good. But you also have to think about, are we going to be able to pay everyone? Probably not. And there's a chance we could lose Trey Waynes. And I imagine they'll pick up his 5th-year option, and then we'll move on from there. But as of right now, I think Hughes is very likely to play in the slot as opposed to being an outside corner like Trey Waynes is, because he kind of works in the opposite way, where Trey is just straight line up and down. I feel like I did say he had average hips, but he is much better moving horizontally than Trey Waynes. So that kind of leaves it at that. And right now, well, before drafting him, I believe the corners on the roster we had were Waynes, Rhodes, Alexander, Horace Richardson, and Marcus Sherrills. And so it's kind of like we didn't really have a nickel corner. Terrence Newman is probably likely gone after this. And you can also possibly put Marcus Sherrills on the same block. I know we do this every year. It's like, oh, Sherrill's gonna make the team. He'll probably make the team because everyone always says he's not gonna make the team, and then he makes the team. But I think this one is more obvious to him because it's a proven kick returner, along with a guy who is a better overall corner than Sherrill's, and it kind of fills two things at once. And the only real issue I have with this pick right now is I'm just really unsure if this was the best choice when you had Hernandez, James Daniels, and Connor Williams all on the board. And if you were to play a game today or tomorrow, you likely have Isadora or Tom Compton as your current right guard. So I know a lot of people say, well, you can't just draft for need, draft for value. At a certain point there, you have enough corners for now. This could have been a second or third round kind of need. I don't know if this was a first round need. If you're talking one of the top interior offensive linemen, maybe would have preferred that. But there's obviously a day 2 and a day 3 of the draft. We'll see what happens there. But my overall grade on this pick, I gave it a B just because of I'm not sure if he'll start right away. And I think we could have gotten a player that could have started right away. So there is that. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I bid you adieu till then.